How's everybody doing today? We're back at it. Water break with the guard whisperer. Today we'll be answering some questions we received in the last couple weeks regarding basketball training, how I got into training, the importance of social media presence for middle school athletes, among other things. So lock in. You guys keep sending your questions. We'll be addressing them here. This channel is for you guys. We're here to share information, give you guys as much information we can from my 30 plus years being in this space. So here we go. Let's get to it.
All right, so Olin, how did you get into this space of training?
Man, it's a long story. So I remember when I was a young kid, I came out here from Belize. I was a young kid. My mother came out with 2 kids. We didn't know anything about basketball, AAU, what have you. I pretty much learned the game on my own, as well as playing in the parks, legendary park, Carl Robertson Park, Tina Thompson, Kevin Ollie, Chris Mills, Sean Higgins. A lot of guys came out that park I grew up with, played against. So didn't have a father figure around. So by the time I played high school, it was my first year playing. I was a 16-year-old. Well, really, I was a young junior, averaged 26, 12, and 6, and did really well. Played in the toughest league in the state, probably the country at the time, Crenshaw, Manual, Fairfax, so forth. And my senior year started blowing up. People started recognizing me. And one big tournament, me and my coach got into a little situation. I walked off the bench, sat in the stands. So I knew in that very moment, at some point in my life, I wanted to get in this coaching space. It wasn't training back then. It was coaching, mentoring, to get the 16-year-old kid like myself to come from a single mother home and just, kind of be that big brother and help navigate these waters. So really it was to work with the 16-year-old Olin. And it just turned into what it is today, It happened a lot sooner than anticipated. I had a kid after my freshman year of junior college. And so I had to figure out life at that point. So in that moment, I knew I wanted to coach and I wanted to mentor. And I started a clinic back at the same high school I was at. And I developed some players. It's funny, I'm working with Trevor Ariza's youngest son now, but Trevor Ariza and Gabe Pruitt were 2 of the first kids I've ever worked with through a program called Hoop Masters. So I started with John Fisher and Hoop Masters. And I just bust my ass and started having all the kids in LA drive up PCH to little school in Palisades, and I just started developing some of the top-notch players and having guys like Spencer Dinwiddie early, Trevor early, Gabe early. I mean, I had all the guys from the city coming up, and it just turned into what it is today.
So how do you get NBA guys to come and train with you?
It's word of mouth, and I'm also a independent contractor for, one of the bigger agencies in the space, Wasserman. But when I got into this, it wasn't about training NBA guys. Like I said, it was about working with kids that didn't have the resources, didn't have, families in the house that knew the space. So I get asked a lot, not just how do I get NBA guys, or how do NBA guys hear about me, but how do I get NBA guys? Man, the biggest thing I can tell trainers is develop one. Give your all to the 8-year-old kid like you'll give to the all-star. Like my biggest thing, my coaches and I, and you've been in the gym, we have an AAU program, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old clinics. We're still in the youth space, yet during the summers, we have 20 plus NBA guys walk through the door that we work with. So our passion is the game. So it's not about getting an NBA guy, it's being passionate about the game, and giving the game all you got. And then the game will reward you. You'll get your NBA guy, you'll get your college guys, your All-American guys, but give the game all you got. Be passionate about the game, teach it the right way, and those guys will come. But I always tell guys, man, in this business, very few, and I wouldn't call it luck. And I'm not trying to tell coaches, don't go after NBA guys. But you have to remember, NBA guys only home 2-3 months during the summer. Of those 2-3 months they vacationing, they got their team mini camps. So you probably work with an NBA guy 6 to 8 weeks in the summer. An 8-year-old you can work for 10 years. You know, you get them at 8, 9, 10. You get them all the way through middle school, high school. Those are 10-year clients. So treat your young players like the NBA players, and that energy you throw in the universe will come back. You'll get an NBA guy, but don't make it all about that. Make it about giving back to the game, not what you can get from it. And my coaches and I, man, that's the thing. Like we spend our weekend coaches little kids. During the summer we have a gym full of pros and high-level college guys, but we don't ever disrespect the game. We try to teach the game the right way, the best we know, and we give the game all we got.
So what is some of your biggest advice you can give to up-and-coming trainers?
My biggest advice that I can give to up-and-coming trainers, that's a good one. Be authentic. What I mean by that is, like for me, I have, I think, 125K followers on IG. With all the guys that walk through this gym, I should probably be in the millions, but we don't make the training about us. We make it about the player. What I mean by that is, if I brought all the guys in this gym that I have and I did a whole bunch of different dribble combos, sexy drills, it's all clickbait. You train the player for the player. What role does player A have currently? We have to make sure he's a star in his role. Let's train him for where he's currently at on his depth chart. Then you still evolve his game, but the primary focus should be about the player, not about the trainer. And so I see a lot of times young trainers are so hungry for the attention that they'll get athletes, whether it's high-level high school guys, middle school kids, college kids, NBA guys, and they put them through a lot of drills that's more so eye-catching to get clicks and become social media popular. But while you're doing so, you're actually training a lot of these guys out of money. You know, for example, this summer, we had a couple guys that, you know, are fringe players, but still NBA guys. So what am I gonna do with a fringe player? Have them do first option workout? You're not a first option guy. No one is saying, here's the ball. We're gonna run the offense around you. You can dribble. You're a fringe guy, so we do a lot of catch and shoot, and then you gotta defend. So how do you tell an NBA guy this summer all we're doing is catch and shoot? Because right now, where you're currently at, you're playing next to All-Star A, All-Star B, max contract 1, max contract 2. You're trying to make a role on that team. You want to master that role. And it's the same principles in middle school and high school. You have a kid that's going to a high school where you got some of the top players in the country, or established varsity players. You have to make sure he can go into that space and make the team. Let's make the team, then let's evolve from there. So the biggest advice I said, man, is be authentic to the game. Don't be authentic. Don't chase, what's the term I'm looking for? Don't chase the attention. Don't make it about yourself. Make it about the player. I think I pulled out a quote. It's funny for this question. I pulled out a quote where someone said, the coach from Houston, I don't have to be their life, but they are my life. Like, it's not about him. Like, it's not about me. I want to make sure that what I'm doing for these kids is it's about them. And that's the same way that we are with training, man, is make the training about the athlete independently. Make it about the player. It can't be about me. My ego, it can't be my ego. It can't be like, oh man, I got to show the world that I have this in my bag as a trainer. Your bag is not what he needs. He needs what he needs for his current situation in his current space, if that makes sense. So that's the biggest thing, man, is make it about the player, not about yourself.
And so for this last question, how important is it for middle school basketball players to have social media presence?
How important is it for middle school athletes to have a social media presence? That's a tough one. I'm on the fence with that one. Because it goes back to the other question, really. It goes hand in hand with giving advice to trainers. Right? For me, I got to make the main thing, which is developing the athlete, make the training about the athlete and not make it catchy. And eye gathering. So when it comes to social media, I understand that's the way of the land now. That's the lay of the land. And with this whole NIL thing, you want to start building your influence, your followers. But I don't think it's important because end of the day, if you don't become good at your craft, it doesn't matter what your influence is. So I tell families, focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. If you want your kids to have a social media, I think the parents should be running it. I don't think a player should have access to it and get caught up in how many followers I have and I got to constantly upload to become popular. If it's about basketball, become the best basketball player you can be, the best version, and everything else will take care of itself. So should you do it? Yeah, both my kids have it, but we post here and there, but they're not posting, right? They're not like, oh, I need to get followers. It's become really good at what it is that you want to do, whatever that art is, whatever that craft is. Now, if you want to be an influencer and you know that in middle school, then that's different. But I think this question came from a mom that has a basketball daughter. Have your daughter become the best athlete, basketball player she can possibly become, and then the time will come where you need to have a social media presence. That's end of high school, going into college, where your brand is now what you kind of want to start benefiting from along with your game. But in middle school, focus on your game, focus on getting better. Don't get caught up with what player A is doing, what player B is doing. Focus on just being the best version of yourself you can be between the lines on the basketball floor. Just continuously just be the best player you can possibly be and let all the other stuff take care of itself.